So tonight we are here with Kelly, and Kelly did the metabolic reset about a month ago. You ended ultimately. I think it was
Yeah,
early,
right
early.
before Halloween.
Yeah. Did really well. Lost 18.7 pounds in the 6 weeks, 6 3/4 inches from her waist, um, 2 inches from her hips. That's just awesome. You're going to see me looking around because I got notes all over my desk, and I'm also looking at a couple different screens to make sure if anybody's watching, whoever's watching, if you have a question, just write it in the comments at the bottom of the screen, and I'll try to answer them, or Kelly will try to answer them when I read them to her. Okay. So here, let's just get started with a little bit of background. Kelly, can you tell us your story and why you did the metabolic body reset?
Okay, so for the past 3 to 4 years, my weight had been slowly creeping up. Then it got to a point where it was its highest peak. I was almost 200 pounds. I was sleeping 3 hours a day in the afternoon whenever I could, just really uncomfortable and miserable. So I went to my doctor, and they suggested that I do a sleep study and go see a nutritionist because I was running already. And, most of my diet was already pretty good. So before I went and did that, I saw Kristen, my friend Kristen. Hey, girl. And she told me about this program. And I was like, if before I go through all of that, let me try this. If this doesn't work, then I'll go do that. I thought the least that would happen is that my eating would be right on track again. I would eliminate things that I think are good, but really aren't. So I did that, and I'm really happy with my progress
You
thus far.
did really well, and
Yeah,
um,
it was easy. That was
awesome.
the
And
best
it's
part,
just
is that it was so easy.
and during the 6 weeks, you start to notice changes with your body and how your body was reacting to things.
Oh, absolutely. Almost immediate. The first couple of days I did have a headache, but I think that was the withdrawals from my Diet Coke addiction. So, I had that headache, and then once I got over that hump, I felt great. I wasn't sleepy anymore all the time. My need for a nap went away. I had so much energy. I found I was getting loads of laundry done in the morning, the dishwasher, all this other stuff that, in the morning prior to that, I was just lagging around, but I really felt better. I've had a pain in my shoulder for quite a few years. And after I stopped putting all that stuff in my body, it started to feel better. So I haven't
Awesome.
had to take a leave for it in I don't know how long.
It's awesome. So let's circle back around to the Diet
Okay.
Coke. How
Oh
many
yeah.
are you drinking?
4 to 5 a day. I would have one in the morning because I wasn't a coffee drinker. And then I would have one mid-morning and with my lunch, and then with my dinner, and then in the evening. So I was having quite a few Diet Cokes.
Okay.
It would start off with one a day, and then it just gradually increased over the years. So
And you haven't had one since you started the program.
no,
And I think you said you tasted it, but it didn't taste right.
no, it was so sweet and little. It's gross.
That's good because it's
It
not
is
good
good.
for you.
Yeah, it
Yep,
is
it's not good.
good.
Um, so how are you doing, like during the program? How did you find the Facebook group? Was it supportive for you?
I found it very supportive. It was so refreshing to see these people like ringing their bells for their 5 pounds. I was like, okay, well, this person made it to 15 pounds. I'm going to make it to 15 pounds. Someone would post like this, when you feel like you were getting sick of eating vegetables, someone would post this fantastic meal and you're like, oh, I'm going to try that. And then it would just kind of get you back into the program again. Like it would just refresh you a little bit.
Right.
It was very supportive. It was just like that little thing on your shoulder that just kept saying, keep going, you got this, you can keep doing it.
Well, if there's anybody who's watching and doesn't know, we have a private secret Facebook group. You can't even search it up. It's only the people who have done the metabolic body reset or are doing it. And every 5 pounds you lose, you go in there and you post a picture of a bell ringing, and then everybody just sort of chimes in. Good
Yeah.
job, congratulations. You don't even know the people; they're chiming in.
No,
Yeah,
it's great. It's all positive. Um, it's just very nice, and it's a great, safe environment.
awesome, awesome. So I asked you some questions at the end of the 6 week program, and you talked about some changes in your body, and you said that you had gotten positive comments about your weight and how you looked. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, even my principal at the school was like, "Oh, you look pretty good. What are you doing?" And I said I was doing it, doing the metabolic program. But I've got, other peers have said that they have noticed, "Are you losing weight? You look great." "Yeah, I am. Thanks." And it's funny because even afterwards, after you're done with the program, you still lose. Like, you still lose those pounds, and that's when they're really like, "Did you lose weight? Are you doing something different?" So,
That's
yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. And that makes you feel better about yourself. But
Yeah,
you also checked off you have better sleep now.
I do. I used to wake up 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, right on the dot. But now I sleep through the night. It's so good. You just get a really good sleep.
Awesome. Awesome. So you had daytime fatigue as well prior to starting the program. Can you tell us a
All
little bit?
of the time. All of the time. I would wake up and at 10 o'clock I would be ready for a nap. And my naps, you can even ask my husband, they weren't quick 15-minute cat naps. They were 3-hour naps or more. So if I was taking a nap, there went our whole day. So, and then I would probably take one again in the evening, like right before dinner. So it was a lot of exhaustion, just carrying around all the extra weight.
Napping now or no?
Occasionally, depends on what we do. Like the other night, this past weekend, we were up really late. So the next day I took like a 10-minute nap, but that was enough. It was good.
Awesome. Awesome.
Prior to that, I was falling asleep in the car. Like if we would go up to the mall, I would fall asleep in the car while my husband's driving. So that's how bad it was. It was pretty bad.
So more energy, decreased or
Yeah.
better sleep,
Mhm.
decreased fatigue, and you also have more energy. And you're a runner, right?
Yes. Try to be.
So
Try to be.
you told me about you ran a half marathon shortly after you were done with the 6 weeks. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I ran the Rocky Road Run in November. So I finished probably the week of Halloween. My program, I did my maintenance phase, which was during Halloween and the week after, and then I probably only ran twice before that. So the Rocky Road Run is you run um, for 3 miles, and then you go back to the starting line, and then you run a 10 miles. So it equals a half marathon. I felt great. I hadn't ran in probably at least 6, 7, 8, 10 weeks, and
Yeah,
I just woke up and ran. Um, I really felt great. No pains, no aching. The worst part of a half marathon is walking back to the car. That's when because you stop the moving, the pain sets in, and I had no pain. My recovery time was a lot shorter. My muscle swelling was decreased. I felt great. It was probably the best run I've had in all my years of running.
that's great. That's great. Are you training for another race at all?
I'm done right now until the spring. We'll start again in the spring. Well, I run. I will still run. I still run, but I'm not training anything hardcore. Then my next big race will be St. Luke's Half Marathon. We do that every year, my husband and I, and then we do quite a few races. We have the Emmaus 4 miler. We do a couple runs at the beach that we go to. So
Awesome.
it feels
Awesome.
good to run again. When I was running, I was like, this is what it used to feel like to run. There wasn't that extra weight because that weight will really slow you down and set you back.
So it's a lot of pressure on your hips and knees as well for every stride.
Mostly on my knees.
Yeah.
I read once
Um,
that it's like 15 pounds of pressure for every pound on your knees, but I don't know if it's
yeah,
true,
it is.
but I believe it.
It's a lot of pressure, yes,
Yeah.
and pounding away. So that's great. That's phenomenal. Now you also, when we were talking, talked to me about your wedding ring.
Oh yeah, I can actually take it off. I haven't been able
That's
to do that in probably 2 years.
that's great.
Like I could take my engagement ring off. That was a little bigger, but my wedding ring, I could never get off unless I was like lotioning and sitting and working at it. But now it just slides off if I'm baking something or doing something. So that's nice.
It's less swelling. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You also said you have better clarity of thought.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not so scatterbrained. I'm like, okay, this is my checklist. Get it done, 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 done. Before it was like, I got to do this, but let me go do this first. But let me go back to this. Let me, and then you
Uh-huh.
forget things, dropping the ball in the schedules sometimes, just it's better now.
That's awesome. Um, the other thing you checked off, improved cycle.
Yes, yes. The bloating, there's not that significant amount of bloating. There's I'm not on a feeding frenzy like the day before. I don't get the bad mood swings. Like I think my husband knew it was coming whenever I would just like go nuts, You don't mean to, but it just affects you. And now it's just like any other day.
That's great. That's great. So
So
there's a lot of, we've talked about a lot of different things other than just the weight and the inches that came
mhm.
out of this 6 weeks, which
Oh,
is
absolutely.
awesome. Now, you mentioned at the very beginning, and I didn't ask the question, but your doctor wanted you to do and go see a nutritionist and a sleep study prior to doing this program.
Correct.
So
Correct.
what's the plan now?
The plan right now is just to stay on the track that I'm on. If I can, is if I start feeling exhausted again, like I was before, then we'll go on with the sleep study. But as for the nutritionist, my weight and my eating is under control. So that's what the plan is for now. We're just going to keep going the path I'm on. And if anything, God forbid, decreases or my weight starts creeping up again, then we'll go that route. But right now, he's happy with where I am.
Awesome. That's great. That's great. You also, had you tried other things in the past to try to lose weight?
Oh, absolutely. The South Beach diet we've done. Um, let's see, I've done, P90X, all those crazy beach body programs, which I do enjoy the exercises. I'm not going to lie. I do enjoy the exercises, but, it's a very slow and monotonous way to lose weight. And sometimes it's just not for everybody.
Yep.
And and I just really felt like, give this a whirl. Let's see how it goes. And I thought at the very least, I'm going to try this. At least my eating will be right on track. I'll get that back.
So you got the eating back, and
Yeah.
is it you've sustained that same eating pattern
Oh,
generally?
easily, very easily. You have an adult beverage on the weekend, but then you get back on track on Monday. You flush it out with water the next day. You don't go crazy with it, obviously, but yeah, I find that it's very easy to eat this way. Like that's what I crave. Like I don't miss ice cream. I don't miss brownies and cookies and all that other stuff. um, I find it very easy to eat this way, and
Awesome.
it's I find it's easier to grocery shop this way too. you know you're not you don't really have to pick and choose the sale prices. Like you just get what looks good that day. So
Yep.
I find it's easier just to get all the vegetables, get all the meat, and just call it a day.
That's what I see you wrote. I crave veggies and fruit now.
I do. I certainly
Good,
do.
good thing.
My dessert is usually blueberries and strawberries because that's what I like. When honeydew is good, you mix it in there. Anything that's good, that's what I like. I feel like, clementines do have the sugar, but
Mhm.
that's like a treat. You have one of those and you call it a day,
Yep.
but that's what I crave. We went out for ice cream a couple weeks ago and I got the baby one and they're like, "Are you sure?" The lady behind the counter's like, "Well, it's only this big," and she holds up this tiny cup and I said, "That's all I want." If I could just get a small taste of it, that's what I would get. That's all you want is a small taste.
That's right. That's right. Just to satisfy that flavor. For people who don't know, on the Metabolic Body Reset, you eat protein, you eat vegetables, you eat fruit, and then you can eat as much of another group of vegetables as you want.
Yeah.
There's no shakes. There's no
Oh,
prepackaged
shakes are
food.
awful. Those shakes are awful. I don't care what anybody says. There is not a shake that tastes good.
But usually when you make a shake that tastes good, it's got so much fruit in it. It's so
Yeah,
sugared.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we always say it's not a fad because it's sustainable going onward and into the maintenance phase. So what was your experiences on the Metabolic Body Reset for, how you felt overall going through it? I know you said the first couple of days were rough detoxing from the Coke, but
Yeah.
throughout, how would you say it was?
I I don't know. I just felt great. You feel like, when you have a cold and you can't breathe and you just think, "Oh, I take breathing for granted." You know, you get past those first days where you're detoxing and then it's like you're so refreshed you can breathe again. You know, it's
Right.
just, oh, Sophie, stop. It's just, you just wake up one day and you're like, it's undescribable how you feel. You just feel better. The energy, the attitude, the way you feel, the way your skin looks, the way your hair looks, like you just are a new person, you know?
As a new person, then did you have to get some new clothes?
um, a little bit of new clothes. My goal was just to fit into the clothes that I have, and I accomplished that goal. So my next round is to have to buy new clothes. That's my goal for the next round.
Awesome. Awesome.
But yeah,
Those are good goals. Those are very
they are.
good goals.
Yep.
So how's the maintenance phase going? We touched on a little bit, but overall, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going well. I crave the foods that I did on the loss part. Those are the foods that I still crave. And on the weekend, I said, "Oh, I'll have an adult beverage." Clementine is like a treat for me. So it's very easy to maintain. It's so easy, and even with the family, like I will make everybody the same meal. It's just I won't eat the potato, I won't eat the rice, and
Right.
and I don't miss that. So it's
Right.
pretty good.
And so you locked in your weight after
Hmm.
I went through the losing phase and we're in the maintenance phase. It
Hmm.
was locked in, and now you're adding different things in, but you're still staying in that locked in range.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think the most it ever fluctuated was over Thanksgiving, and it was 2 pounds, and then 2 days later it was back down to normal. But that was a holiday, and that was like pie. I had to put a pie, you had some of that, but it goes right back down or even lower. So, not, it's hardly ever higher than what I locked in. Usually the day after running, it's a pound heavier, but that's, inflammation, muscle swelling from the run.
So the Metabolic Body Reset dealt with nutrition, the Facebook group, and I know I was in contact with you every couple days throughout the
Yep,
6 weeks,
almost every day.
almost every
Almost every
day.
day. Yeah.
And that helps with mindset and de-stressing because
Yep.
you had a question. There was somebody to answer, whether it was through the Facebook group or through me.
Hmm.
Um, so throughout the whole thing, if somebody's like, mindset wise, what did you do to wrap your head around that? Wait, hey, I'm losing this weight.
I just kept trying on the clothes, you know. That is like, okay, this is happening. This is great. You wake up and the scale goes down. You wake up, the scale goes down another half pound. It's just like, holy cow, I'm doing it. This is happening, you know. And it just feels great, you know, to have that accomplishment that some people, like, people work really hard and spend a lot of money on weight loss. Like, it's a millions and billions of dollar industry. And to just be able to do it by changing the way you eat is amazing. And it's easy. That's the thing. That's what Kristen said to me. And she goes, it's easy. Don't worry. It's easy. You'll be able to. That's what she said to me. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I could give up the Diet Coke, but I didn't miss it. Once those headaches went away, didn't miss it.
That's great. And probably one of the tougher things, because you were exercising, was to cut back on the exercising for the 6 weeks.
Yeah, that was hard. Especially because we had like races that we were supposed to be training for.
Right.
I'm like, oh gosh, like I'm going to be terrible. Should I even do this? We were supposed to do the 18 miler. My husband did it. I didn't do it because my daughter wanted to go up the island with me. It's you run from one point of the island to the other.
Okay.
And you know, that was hard. That was a hard one to not do because that was a goal, but there's always next year. Absolutely. And then I did the 13 miler and I was like, oh boy, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. And I did it. So, and it was easier than running any other race that I ever ran. So
awesome.
Cutting back was hard. It was like, what do I do with myself? What am I going to do? But then once you got there and you realized you could still do it, and it was better than before, it was so worth it.
It goes against the usual lose weight routine of less calories, more exercise. You know, so, well, overall, if somebody's sitting on the fence about this program, whether to do it or not do it, what would be your advice to them?
I say just bite the bullet and do it. Just do it. You have to, because if you don't, then you'll still be the same place you are tomorrow, and you'll still be the same place you are a week from now. It's not going to change unless you just do it. So that's what I say. I say just do it. It's easy. It is probably the easiest way to lose weight, and I've been trying to lose weight for 4 years, 3 years, 4 years.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, you won't regret it. You just wouldn't regret it. You won't. By the end of the 6 weeks, you will be. Sometimes you might think, oh gosh, I'm crazy. What am I doing? And, you know, in the beginning, when you're having that detox phase where you just feel like, you know, nervous, you're not used to it, you're meal prepping, but just do it. Just push through and do it. It's easier than going to the gym at 5:30 in the morning.
So I'm going to just say hello to a couple people who are watching. Elise, how you doing? Kim, my wife, is on watching, which means the kids are probably gathered around.
Hey, Sid, the kid.
And then Joan, thanks for watching as well. So the 6 week program is different than other programs you've tried in the past, and it gave you the results you wanted. So I just wanted to say thank you for coming on, telling everybody, because this, you know, word of mouth is the best way for anybody to learn about the program. And you know, I always forget to do this, but I'm going to try to remember. First off, if anybody has any questions, put them in the comments of the Facebook Live, and I'll try to answer them tonight, later, whenever I see them. Or right now if there's questions. Number two, you can also go to our website, www.metabolicbodyreset.com. There's a button on there. You can schedule 20 minutes with me to answer your questions, to see if it would be the right fit for you before even taking the next step to do a program. And then since we're approaching the end of the year, a lot of people have HSA and FSA accounts. Those apply to this program as well. if you have them and they're available. But Kelly, I thank you very, very much for your time. And
Thank you.
you have any parting words for everybody or anybody you have to say hello to?
I just say, if you're wondering about it, just do it. Just break down and do it. It is the easiest way to lose weight. And I don't regret it. I'm going to do it again. This will, just to get me where I want to be, like the exact spot I want to be. But it's a total life changer.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time and enjoy the rest of your night. And I'll be talking to you shortly.
yeah. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Have a good
Bye.
night.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
night.